Are you a bucket banger or a sneaky baiter? Do you think that pounding a bucket on a barrel or making some other specific noise can bring the bears to your bait quicker? Or are you more of the belief that you should kind of sneak in and sneak out and minimize the human component to the actual baiting itself? Well, it probably won't surprise you to find out that I have an opinion on this, and while your mileage may vary, I'm going to give you my opinion, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I think that one way is better over the other, if there actually is a better way. First of all, we got to go back and examine the bear's relation with the bait and how they see the bait and how they utilize the bait. And another important part of this is it different in the spring for bear hunting spring bears than it is in the fall? And the answer to that is a very strong yes. And I think we can all agree on that. If you've had experience with both spring and fall bear hunting, you know that there is a big difference because of the availability of natural foods. And in the spring, there isn't that much else for the bears to eat. Let's pause here for a 60-second commercial from the sponsor of today's video, me. Guys, I want to bring something up that most of the viewers of this channel probably don't know, but do you realize that there are 20 million new videos uploaded to YouTube every single day? 20 million videos a day. And the reason I thought about this and decided to bring it up in the middle of this video is because I was at the grocery store the other day and a guy walked up to me and he goes, "Hey, you're Bernie the Bear guy." He says, "I love your videos." And then he said, "Have you put any out lately?" And I'm thinking, I've been putting out 1 or 2 a week for months and months and months. How come he's not seeing them? And there's so much clutter and so many videos out there right now that if you're getting something of value out of my videos, you need to not just be a subscriber, but you need to ring the bell so you get a notification anytime a new video comes up, because if not, you're probably missing a lot of them. Because like I said, I've been putting out probably about 6 to 8 a month for quite a while now, and that's not even including the vlogs that come out almost every other day. So anyway, sorry to take time out of the middle of this video, but I really would like you to hit that bell and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks. In the spring, the bears tend to focus more on what food is available, so they'll eat the bait and then they'll hang out nearby, and when they're hungry, they just come back and eat more bait. And if you're in some way signaling that there's more bait available, there's a potential that the bears could eventually connect the sound of a bucket and more food available. In my experience, this generally works more on smaller, younger bears than it does on big, mature bears. So most of us are baiting in the fall when the bears' attitude is different and their needs are different. They're in a state of hyperphagia, and there's other natural foods available, and sometimes a lot of other natural foods available that we're competing with. And so if you've watched this channel for very long and heard my beliefs on baiting bears, then you know that I'm a big component of not letting them run out of bait. The reason for that is because their body is constantly urging them on. They're in a state of hyperphagia, and their body is just saying calories, calories, calories. You know, it's a constant state of a desire to put on more calories and put on fat for the winter. So if a bear comes to your bait and he doesn't find something good to eat, he's just moving on to find something else. And by the time you come to bait next time, he could be a mile away or he could be 10 miles away. So that's the reason that when you're hunting in pretty competitive areas like I do in the fall, you just rarely see a situation where you can bang on a bucket and then on your trail camera 10 minutes later a bear walks in after you leave. It just, if it ever happens, it's almost always a yearling, but it's extremely rare. And that's simply because if there's no food at the bait, the bears aren't going to hang around. So that's why I'm a big believer in doing our absolute best to make sure that every time a bear comes to the bait, they get rewarded with something good to eat. So the question is, do I bang the buckets on the barrel? Or do I try to do a really stealthy approach where the bears just wouldn't know that I came and went? And the answer to that might surprise you, and that is that I just don't think you can really hide what you're doing if bears are nearby. If they're within a couple hundred yards, which is what we're trying to do, we're trying to create a situation where they feel comfortable coming to the bait, filling up, and then going and laying up in water 150 or 200 yards away. And so when we pull up with a four-wheeler and then we walk the last 50 yards or whatever to the bait, and then we dump some buckets in the barrel, or on the ground and throw the logs over it. However you do it, it's almost impossible to keep it quiet. So do I bang the buckets on the barrel? Sometimes we bang the buckets on the barrel to get whatever's in the bottom of the bucket to come out. And I don't try to hide the fact that we're baiting and that we're there and that we're making noise. And honestly, I don't think it really matters. So that's my opinion on this. Your mileage may vary, as I said. If you want to put something in the comments about how you feel about this or get a discussion going on this, by all means, please do. Thank you for following along on this channel, and we'll see you on the next video.